what I want to start with is actually the work of ICOMOS on climate action. ICOMOS is exactly because of its wild words span has been pioneering in advocating cultural heritage in climate issues. The futures of our past was the documents composed by Climate Action Working Group in collaboration with very many experts, and has been pioneering in leading the way to both COP meetings as well as the European Standards and Heritage Green Paper. And one of the authors of that paper, these papers, is here. I'm very thankful, Robin, that you have joined us. And the other very important aspect I want to stress is climate justice. And that's why I have put as a beginning slide United Nations Special Report on Cultural Rights and Climate Change, where ICOMOS has made a very immense contribution, pointing out that concern for the welfare of future generations is already explicitly environmental. It should be also cultural. The extinction of species and habitats is at the same scale as extinctions of cultures and languages. And it is rapidly increasing. And it is not thinking about whether we have the ecosystem collapse and ecological collapse, but it is about when we have it. So let's be clear about that. And cultural rights report says that exactly very threatened are coastal and island nations and Arctic nations. And this is exactly what we are here in North Europe are. As that we should actually be very clear about, and this report says that too, and we have made a contribution to that, that actually low carbon or fossil fuel free cultures are the key to the futures, because we have to shrink. There is no question about, we can make tricks. We don't make tricks with physics. And that's why I have put this slide as a maybe to think about that with every presentation. And now exactly this ICOMOS European Cultural Heritage Green Paper that is made in cooperation with Europa Nostra, ICOMOS, Climate Heritage Networks, very many beautiful people thinking that how Europe's rich and diverse cultural heritage can help in this situation. And just briefly, that in the essence, heritage conservation, maybe I'm quoting you, Robin, now. Heritage conservation is the antithesis of the consumer society ethos of single-use disposability. It fights for the repair, use, and reuse of existing buildings, landscapes, knowledge, and resources. An ethic of stewardship that can be scaled out as both a pattern and an example to champion and guide models of a circular economy. And just to point out that about half of total GHG emissions and more than 90% of biodiversity loss and water stress come from resource extraction and processing of materials, fuels, and food. How green is solar panel imported from China? Very easy question about that. Every single North European law construction is much greener. As simple, starting with tools into the mechanism of all life cycle assessment. And although Renovation Wave has said that in 10 years the buildings of Europe will look remarkably different, we don't want that. very easily said, because that means massive building, and we should stop at some point of historical landscapes, because Europe's landscapes are distinctive keepers of identity and keepers of that knowledge. When with all climate change issues, especially humidity and very high temperatures all over, we can look at the neighbor solutions or move around. But the very principle of fossil fuel-free traditions in their environments is very crucial in solving the problem. And finally, about green paper, which is being revised, and it is just a matter of discussions again in the new situations, that all life cycle assessment should include resource and transport and tools. As soon as you put these three aspects into calculation, every single historical building is sky high compared to the modern new buildings. Plus, not 50 years time span, but in Europe we are not talking about 200 years time span like in Australia. But in Europe we are talking about thousands of years, as simple as that. Not talking about ancient Near East or Near East. So I'm very thankful that Israel is with us too. So, yeah.
Shall I skip this and come to another line that ICOMOS is working with? One is the climate action and the green paper, which we did in together with Europa Nostra, another very influential NGO, and mainly on European level. But ICOMOS has contributed also to the European Building Performance Directive. And when the directive was prepared, one of our scientific committees ICES, which is about energy and sustainability, they made the contribution to the directive, and it was pretty much taken into account, all the proposals that were made to this document. We can discuss how profoundly they are, because all these proposals are mainly in the preamble of the document and not in the implementation part of the document. But inspired from this action and knowing that we have to work hard to get it implemented, not anymore on the EU level, but on the national level, we started a working group inside Europe, because it's a European document that consists of the representatives of European national committees and the members of this ICES scientific committee to discuss the issues and to help our national committees, so country by country, to interfere into the debates on the implementation of a building performance directive in their respective countries. And we started it last May. We have had quite a lot of regular meetings, extremely interesting. We have really a very nice database on different information from different countries. And there are some issues that are mostly intriguing. One of them is how to define the buildings of architectural merit, because the Building Performance Directive allows you to make mitigations to buildings that have some kind of architectural merit, but it's left to the nation states how to define what is this building. And it differs country by country. And just now in Estonia, as Anni mentioned, but only in Estonia in the beginning, just today was launched a huge grant scheme with 185 million euros for upgrading the apartment houses of different types. And there is a special provision for the protected monuments and also the monuments that are protected by Planning Act. We call them milieu protection areas here. So there is a provision and there is a better percentage, and we are very happy because we feel that ICOMOS influence has also been in this document, but it leaves alone the buildings that are not protected. And we know that we have quite a lot of vernacular architecture that is not mentioned in any planning or things like other documents like that. So there is a huge work of awareness raising among owners and also the municipalities that we should try to work on it. And we will later have an intervention by Philip Hesse, because ICOMOS has now turned this project on international level into a research project called Futurhist. And they are working on practical solutions. But the key message I think that we managed to get into this European Building Performance Directive is that we don't want to get the exemptions to the heritage buildings, but we want the mitigations. There is a huge difference, because exemptions means that we also want to have the heritage buildings that are sustainable. And here in Estonia, we started with a meeting almost a year ago in Palmse to define this historical merit and discuss other solutions.
Yes, and it happened in the Lahemaa National Park. Estonian national parks are unique in the sense that here we have vernacular architecture on state level protection. Valuable vernacular architecture protected by Nature Conservation Act. And we discussed there that actually in addition to listed buildings and milieu valuable buildings, those buildings should be treated as historical buildings with easement as well. Moreover, they have a lot to teach to us. And secondly, we were thinking about architecturally valuable buildings as traditional buildings. And there was under a discussion whether it is before 1940, the occupation period, or whether it is 75 years old, with the authorship rights and, going with the authorship rights, or where is this data then? But that is discussion not finished yet in Estonia. And being part of the Life Heritage Project, this event is one of the events where we are looking to the solutions, tailor-made solutions for historical buildings. And this project builds upon European Heritage Green Paper. And one of the aims of this project is to cooperate with the Nordic-Baltic region and with the International Council of Monuments and Sites. So that is exactly the theme of that conference and workshops too. So besides the conference itself, I really hoped we have great discussion in the panel discussions and in tomorrow in the workshop here. Thank you so much.